Hello, and welcome to Choosing Courses for Grade 10. We're excited to have you join our learning community at Lakeville College School, and this short video should help you to choose the courses that are best for your learning needs and interests. Some basics first. If you've already taken a look at the Course Selection and Academic Policy Guide, you will have seen that the Ontario Ministry of Education has several required courses for Grade 9, the grade you are just coming from. If you are coming to Lakeville College School from a school in Ontario, you need to ensure that you have taken and passed all the Grade 9 required courses listed there. For this reason, please be sure to send Lakefield your final Grade 9 report card as soon as you receive it in June or early July, so that we can review it to make sure you have all the credits and courses that you need. If you're coming to Lakefield from outside of Ontario, from another province or from another country, you don't need to really worry very much about the Grade 9 required credits. You can assume that if you've completed a full year of Grade 9 studies in your home country or your home province, that we will give you equivalencies for those credits listed. If this is your situation, just assume that you have all the Grade 9 required courses and that you've already earned 8 Grade 9 credits. With that in mind, let's start course selection. What you can see here is that there are required courses that you must take. All students attending Lakefield in Grade 10 must take courses that have a total value of 8 credits, and 5 of these are compulsory. When you finish choosing your courses today, you'll want to make sure that you have selected courses totaling exactly 8 credits, 5 required, 3 optional, and not 7.5 credits or 8.5 credits, but exactly 8. There are some options available within the required credits categories, and I'll explain these as we go along. The first course that you must take is Grade 10 Canadian History. It's a required credit, so all you need to do is simply check the box to show that you've selected it. And see, when you check the box, 1 required credit pops up over here. This is the category that eventually must add up to 8. You also must take Civics and Citizenship, a course about Canadian government and politics. Simply check the box. It's a half credit course, and that's indicated again in the column on the right. All students entering Grade 10 must also take English, but when we click that box, you'll see that there is a drop-down menu with 2 choices. So I'm going to explain those 2 choices. Any student coming from an English language elementary system, that is, all students from English-speaking provinces in Canada, students from the US and Caribbean, students whose first language is English, they all must choose the first option, English 10, Digital Environment. This choice places students in our regular English course, and also in a half course, Digital Environment, that introduces them to computing programs and laptop uses that will support them in their work at LCS. The second choice is Global English 10 and Learning Strategies, and it is intended for students for whom English is a second language, particularly those students who have had little exposure to studying English literature, although they may well have studied English language for several years. In this course, you will earn the same English 10 credit, but the course has some different texts, and it's taught with the English language learner in mind. Rather than taking Digital Environment, students who choose this option enroll in a Learning Strategies course that helps them to understand the expectations of a North American curriculum and educational setting. This course also covers the basics of what students need to know about computing programs and laptop use at Lakefield. Not all students for whom English is a second language will want to choose this course or need to choose it. Students whose written English is quite strong should choose the regular English option. The general guideline is, if you would find it difficult to read a full-length book in English on your own, you may want to take Global English. A final note before we move on about the English digital environment option. Students coming to Lakefield from another Ontario school may have already earned the BTT 2.0 half credit, or they may have earned BTT 1.0, which counts as the same course. Please email us at guidance@lcs.on.ca if this is the case for you, and we'll discuss possible options to support you. We do not want you to take the same half credit over again. Our next option to consider is math. And again, if we click the box, you'll see that there are two options: Principles of Mathematics and Foundations of Mathematics. Most students will choose Principles of Mathematics, which is the math course that leads to academic math at the grade 11 and 12 university preparatory levels. Students who struggle with mathematics, and a good general guideline is a student who achieved lower than 60% in grade 9 academic math, or a student who did not take academic math at grade 9. These students may want to choose Foundations of Mathematics as their math option. But please note, Foundations of Mathematics is not the prerequisite for grade 11 academic math or university preparatory math or grade 12 university preparatory maths. So if you are thinking about majoring in business or science at universities, you should definitely choose Principles of Mathematics for your grade 10 math course. The next required course is science. But before we go on to science, I just want to say one more thing about mathematics. Students coming to Lakefield from outside the country may well have the experience of having been in a different mathematics program and having covered some of the grade 10 math curriculum or most of it already. When you arrive in September, if you think this might be the case for you, you will be required to write a placement exam, and based on your results, we will place you at the level of mathematics most appropriate to your knowledge and abilities. So if you should be placed in grade 11 math, for example, we'll find that out through the placement exam. But for the time being, please just select the appropriate math by ticking the appropriate box, and we will change courses when you arrive in September if you are not appropriately placed. Next choice, as I said, science. All grade 10 students must take grade 10 science, which covers elements of biology, chemistry, and physics. So you simply need to tick this box. Okay, now we're ready to move on to the optional credits. So I'm just going to scroll down here so we can see the rest of the screen. I'm not going to proceed through these in order because I want to take a look at environmental leadership first because it's a little bit tricky. If you check this box, you'll see that environmental leadership counts for 2 credits. So if you choose environmental leadership, you will only choose one of the other options. But if you don't choose environmental leadership, you will choose 3 of the other options available to you. Environmental leadership is a course that combines physical education with geography, and it offers students to experience outdoor education and outdoor activities. So you may wish to choose this option. If you do, just keep in mind that it counts as 2 optional credits. But let's take a look at the other options for your consideration. We'll think about the arts first, and I'm going to open all 3 of the arts boxes so you can see the choices that are available to you here. You will see that for each of the arts options, there's a beginner choice and an intermediate choice. If you come from the Ontario school system, you must have the prerequisite course listed to enroll in the intermediate choice. So for example, if you wish to take an intermediate drama and you come from the Ontario system, you must have ADA 2.0 in order to enroll. Otherwise, you should choose drama for beginners. If you come from outside the Ontario system, you should ensure that you have at least 1 year of drama before choosing an intermediate option, at least 1 year of music before choosing an intermediate music option, at least 1 year of visual arts before choosing an intermediate option there. Otherwise, you should choose the beginner option. You can choose all 3 of these courses as your 3 optional credits, or any one of them, or none at all. All of those options are available to you. The next choice to consider is French. Students who have never studied French at the high school level should not enroll in a grade 10 French course, as study of French at the grade 9 level is a prerequisite for grade 10 French. If this is the case for you and you wish to study languages, Spanish, introductory Spanish, could be an option for you so that you can continue language studies. Students who do want to study French at grade 10 and are eligible have options of either core French or extended French. Core French is appropriate if French has been studied as an individual subject throughout elementary school and grade 9. Extended French is appropriate if the student is more fluent in French, is for example from an immersion program in elementary school. Any student for whom French is their first language or who is completely fluent in French will probably find the grade 10 French options too basic and should email us to discuss other possibilities. And final note about languages. Students who eventually wish to study in the United States at the college level should keep in mind that studying a language in high school can be a requirement for university admission, particularly for students who are not already fluent in 2 languages, English and their native language. Students coming from Germany should also keep in mind that they will probably need to study either French or Spanish to earn their German secondary school Abitur. Our next option to consider is learning strategies. Only students who have identified learning differences are eligible to choose this option. Those students who have submitted evidence of their learning differences as part of the admissions process will be considered for this course. Please email guidance@lcs.on.ca to confirm whether this eligibility might apply to you. If you click the box for computer science options, again, you'll see 2 choices. Computer Science 10 is an introduction to computing and is intended for students interested in computing at a basic level. Students might choose the other option, AP Prep Computer Science, for 2 reasons. They may have taken the prerequisite course, ICS 2.0, already at another Ontario school, or as a summer course option, you'll see it here below. Or they may be very interested in computer programming and already have an advanced knowledge of this area. If you wish to take a computer science course, but are in doubt about which is the more appropriate for you, again, email Guidance and Learning for advice. Introductory Spanish assumes no previous knowledge of Spanish, so is appropriate for students who have never studied Spanish before. It is not an appropriate option for students who are fluent in Spanish. We've already talked about outdoor education. So when you have chosen the options that most appeal to you, you should have 3 optional credits and 5 required credits showing on the right. So let's close some boxes so we only have 3 optional credits. I'm going to imagine that we're taking intermediate music, core French, and computer science. And you'll see there are 3 optional credits here, and again, 5 required credits for a total of 8. So make sure these all add up correctly to 8 before you finish your options. Good. Now let's take a look at LCS Summer Academy and Special Circumstances. You will see here that it is possible to take a summer course through Lakefield College School. If you intend to take one of these summer courses, please indicate that here by checking one of the boxes, either Business Leadership in the Environment or Computers Programming through Animation. But you also need to complete the Summer Online Academy Agreement to be fully registered in these courses. Both of these courses count towards the Ontario Diploma and, when completed successfully, may be used to lighten your academic load in grade 10 so that you can take 7 courses during the academic year rather than 8. Or you may wish to take 8 courses in grade 10 and save your summer credit to lighten your academic load in grade 11, and that's probably the better option. And regardless, please make sure you choose 8 courses up here And if you wish, one course down here. If you decide to lighten your load in grade 10, we'll make that decision once you have completed the Summer Academy course successfully. Some students may plan to enroll in another summer course with an institution other than Lakefield College. If this is the case for you, please indicate that here so that we know you are thinking about taking a summer course. And it's quite possible, finally, that you may have already taken some of the listed required credits by September, or you may feel that there are other courses offered by the school in other grades that would be more appropriate for you. Please still complete this form, but also email us to book an appointment with the Guidance and Learning Office to discuss. And I would also note that there's a short grace period when you arrive in September when you can change courses. So if you've made a choice that's inappropriate for you, you may change it with your parents' permission. Thank you so much for completing this course selection form. We look forward to seeing you in September.